Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And we have one more thing from my freezer this morning, and then I'm gonna call it quits for today and kind of sit back and see the responses on these types of videos and see if you're really interested in this stuff or not. This is a Heathkit, and I got the cover loose so I can show you inside. And let me zoom in a little bit. There's the front of it. It's a active audio filter. Now these were used mainly by hams and shortwave listeners to add features to a radio that didn't have it, for fine-tuning the signals that you were receiving, to put in filters, and this is strictly filters on the audio. So you could add things as low filter, notch and peak filters, high filters, and then there was a couple of things that I don't show. A couple other buttons where you could have preset filters. You could change the gain of the audio, headset port, and then I'll show you in the back before I go inside. Here's all the connections. This is your power supply connector. What's interesting, it says 7 to 13.5 volts AC or 9.18 volts DC. I'm not sure what that's telling us. The model number is HD 1418, and I actually found a manual for this. It shows you how to put it together, and then some very brief information on how to use it. Here's the output. Here's a tape output, and this is the input from the audio from your radio. Most radios nowadays have some of these features, but not many of them don't have all this stuff, all these things. Your SDRs do, because you can change all those parameters in software. So this is still a pretty handy thing to have. I took the cover off so you could see inside. Lots of electronics. Look at all the electronics of this thing. This probably took, to build this, probably took a long time. Solder all those, they're all socketed. All those ICs are socketed. Solder all those sockets. Hundreds of discrete components. My lighting is not very good this morning. So a lot of work went into putting this together, and it does appear, because at one time you could get some of these Heathkit devices already put together. This does, the soldering in a couple of places that I can see on the top does look kind of amateurish. Good, but not perfect. So I think it was actually built by a person. I never used it. Another one of those things. About, gosh, I'm guessing here, about 20 years ago, I used to go to every ham fest that was within 100 miles of me and picked up this stuff with the idea that I eventually would try to get it working. Well, back then I was working 60 hours a week, and so I never had time to do that, and so I put it in the freezer, old freezer, and it just sat there, and then I forgot about it. So that's why this stuff is still there. I never used it. This one, I'm sure I never turned it on. This one I'm going to keep and see if I can get it working, because like I say, a lot of these features, as far as filtering the audio and filtering out noise and interference and stuff like that, would be great for some of my older radios. Even some of my not too older radios, like some of my Grundig radios. They didn't have they had like 3 filters for the audio, and that's it. That's it. I can remember I had another device about half this size that was a notch filter, and what it would do, for instance, if you were listening on one of the amateur radio bands and there was somebody on a particular band, say 40 meters, that was just keying his microphone and sending out a carrier. Therefore, all you were hearing is this tone, and you were trying to listen to another person that was actually talking on it. The notch filter function would grab on to that high signal with no audio, and it would filter it out. And I don't know if I ever did a video of that, but I had a neat little filter that would automatically do that. You didn't have to manually tune it. You just turned it on. It would search around the band you were listening, and I take that back. It would search the audio that you were receiving, and it would find that pulse, I'll call it. It wasn't a pulse, but that strong, constant signal, and blank it out. It works great. Anyway, that's it. Like I say, today I'm going to stop digging things out of my freezer and take a look at my responses to these shows and see if you're really interested in me doing this, because I still have a ton of stuff in there. I saw a couple more radios in there, and some computer parts. One of my hobbies has been, for years, has been building and repairing computers. So I've got a ton of computer parts. Again, many of them very, very old. They're worthless, because what I did for the past 3 years is I was recycling old computers. And I would get old computers that people were throwing away. I'd bring them home. I'd clean off all their data. As a matter of fact, like, scan over here, right there is my little external device for connecting to old hard drives. And what I do is I have a program that wipes, using an algorithm used by the government. It wipes all the data off, so then I can take the hard drive and put it in the trash and not worry about somebody getting the previous owner's information. So it's gone. It's much easier to do that than to try to smash these drives. These drives are built like tanks. I've tried smashing a couple of them and gotten nowhere. So that's the other thing I'm purging right now, is those old parts. I probably have lost my voice. I'm sorry. I'm good for about an hour and then I lose my voice. I probably have 40 or 50 of these old hard drives. They're like 160 gigabytes or less, not too useful. And so I'm going through and purging them and then putting them in taking them to the recycle plant to be destroyed. Excuse me. So that's what I've been doing lately, is going through my old radio stuff and going through my old computer stuff. I've got to purge this stuff. I know when I die and my daughters come and clean out the house, they're just going to get a big dumpster and put it all in the trash. And if possible, I've been trying to find people to give this stuff to. The computer recycling hobby has come to a standstill because nobody wants old computers. It started about a year ago, in that I was fixing these computers and putting them on free cyclers for free, and nobody wanted them. So But on the other side, I was still getting people calling me and sending me emails. Hey, I've got an old computer and I hear you're recycling. So I was nice enough or dumb enough to say, yeah, I'll come get it for you, and I'll wipe off your personal information so nobody can get it. That's the main thing they were looking for. And I put it in the pile. I'm down to 33 computers, probably of which 12 are of this century, and the rest of them are old. So I'm purging all those old ones, and I'm continuing trying to recycle the ones that are 5 years or less old. Don't have any laptops. Laptops are very hard to come by. Typically, the laptops I get have a broken screen, making them not totally unusable because you can use an external monitor, but just inconvenient. Now, how did I get on that subject? I'm going to quit. I'm babbling now, and I'm losing my voice. So that's it. If you enjoyed the show, please give me a thumbs up and have a great day. Bye-bye.